Alright, so we are getting started, so we're live. Alright, everybody, welcome to tonight's Hangout. My name is Alessandro Liu. I am a member of the Dream Team, and my wife Kenya, which probably most people know, has interacted with her on Facebook at one point or another. I want to welcome you guys all to the Hangout for the Dream Team. We're super excited to have you here. There's going to be a lot of great testimonies of some really great people that have accomplished some unbelievable things. And we're going to hear about all that tonight. For those of you that are just joining us, this is, we are Ds Domination. And Ds Domination is basically an online platform that shows people how to buy and sell using multi-million-dollar third-party websites like Amazon and eBay. And what it is the training platform that teaches you step by step how you can go from being a seller on eBay to eventually selling on Amazon and making a very healthy income, almost income for most people that replaces their regular 9-to-5 job, and actually doing this on a full-time basis. And so we're super excited to really have an all-star panel here tonight of just ladies and gentlemen that have just basically kept it so real for us that we're able to just really just tell the testimonies. There's really no fluff. There's really nothing to this. I'm not here to try and convince anybody to sign up or do anything as far as having to recruit. This is a business where you officially don't have to recruit in order to be successful. If you went through all the training and you did exactly what the training told you to do, you could make money online without having to even tell anybody else about it. And that really goes against the grain for a lot of these marketing companies, is that you're always out recruiting people or telling your friends and family and this and that. It's great. You can be more than happy to tell your friends and family, and the affiliate side of the business is very, very lucrative, but you don't have to. And for $19.95 a month, you get an online training platform that teaches you step by step how to sell on eBay. It teaches you how to search for items. It teaches you everything. And so it's really cool. We got started, my wife and I got started a little bit over a year ago when Ds Domination first launched back in August of 2013. I started out on eBay just like everybody else. I went through the videos step by step. My first month we made a couple $100s. And then from there we progressed on and we got into $1,000 and so forth. And I think by that Christmas, which was I think just 4 or 5 months away, I made enough money to pay for all my kids' Christmas gifts without even having to take any money out of pocket on what we do, other businesses that we do. And so it was really, really cool to see that. And to actually be in control, to be at the steering wheel of something, of a machine like this that allows you to make, really the sky's the limit on this money, on the money that you can be making in Ds Domination. And so for $19.95 we got started, my wife and I, and we did very well. We got into the affiliate side of the business, and we did very well with that as well. And just all around, Ds Domination has been just a great avenue of money for us, another stream of income that we use, and it's been great. And so I want to done talking about me, because my story is just the same. But I really want to talk to you about people that, because you're just hearing it from me, it's like, great, this guy's done it, and he's been doing it for a year and a half, and he's successful. But I want to talk to other people that have been doing it, maybe not as long as he. But so I'm going to turn it over to our first person, Janet. Janet, you just got started about 3 weeks ago, from what you just said. And if you could just unmute your microphone, and if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from. Do you have any other job full-time, or is this it, or tell us your story.
Okay, all right, so you guys can hear me okay, right?
You can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. I would watch Freddie always post about Ds Domination, and he is just so excited about it. And I don't know, I just never really did it until a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago. I actually just I messaged him and I asked him about it, and that very night I started doing it, and I watched all the videos, and I do work full time, so I wasn't able to list something until like the week after. But I want to say within the last week and a half, I've got about 4 sales, and it's actually really exciting. And every time I get a sale, I'm sorry, Freddie, to bug you, but I just got a sale. So I am so excited about those.
That's exciting. And so, Janet, what did you do prior to this, or what do you still do?
I'm in logistics and transportation. I work full time, so I pretty much make up my own hours. But I've been doing it for a while, and I have 2 kids, and I want to be home with them. I don't want to be tied down because it's a job that, I mean, right now as we speak, my phone's going off. It's the job that doesn't end. I have a laptop. I have my phone that goes off all the time. It just wears me out. I want something that, you know, I can make up my own hours, and I love this. I really do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so so you work from home right now with your current job?
I actually do both. I can work. My kids are being nosy. They want to see what's going on. I work from home, but I mostly am at the office. All my stuff is at the office. So it depends. During the weekend, I'm here. Monday to Friday, I go to the office. So it's a pretty much 24/7 thing.
Now, when you got started, you paid the $19.95 for the training. What did you think about the videos? What did you think about the startup on this? Was it something you seemed to be kind of easy, difficult? What was the type of learning curve you experienced?
It was actually easy. Freddie made it so easy. Like I just messaged him and said, "Hey, I want to do what you're doing," and he kind of just gave me the first watch the video, and then let me know it makes sense, and we kind of just went on from there. But it's very easy. Like each step, you watch the video, it makes perfect sense, and it's just the setup is so easy. The price is really good, and so far I've had no issues. Every now and then I have a question, and Freddie answered me almost within the hour, so I couldn't have asked for a better sponsor.
That's great. That's great. Freddie's an all-star on our team. We truly love all that he does, and he helps so many people. It's amazing. So, well, awesome, Jan. I'm going to come back to you in a little bit. Okay. We're going to head over to David Munn. David Munn is a gentleman I got to meet for the first time in Las Vegas back in March. It was March.
I think it was June, May.
Never mind, not March, May. And I got to meet David there for the first time, and I just tell you what, this guy is just an all-star. Just everything, just positive attitude, just walks around, and I don't think this guy ever has a bad day, to be honest with you. And so David was has a great testimony, and we'll let him go into it here. But David, tell us a little bit about how you got started and ultimately where you ended up at, and don't leave anything out.
Okay. Well, I got started actually a lot like Janet. I had saw Freddie posting on Facebook about DSD, and it's not the first thing I saw Freddie post about. So in my mind, he's a minister friend also. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Freddie's one of these people that can just succeed at whatever he does. He's a go-to kind of guy. He's very outgoing. And so I kind of had that, in the back of my mind for probably a couple months. And then I had another minister friend, Tyler, who had started doing it, and he started posting on Facebook. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I got 2 minister friends of mine having success with DSD, and it only costs $19.95. So either they're both scamming me and they're both lying, or this thing actually works. Do I actually trust these men? Are they going to put their walk with God on the line for $19? So I went ahead and I signed up with the dream team, and this the best team. I met Alessandro and Kenya at Vegas, and they're real people. You meet these people that you see on Facebook, and they're family, they're friends. And I signed up $19.95 like everybody else on Pro, and I messaged my sponsor, which is Trent, and I said, where I needed to go. I knew what I was making at my job selling shoes. I've been there for like 28, 29 years, ever since I was, 5, not really, but, so I said, is that doable? Can I do this with DSD? Can I make this amount of money? And Trent said, yeah, sure, no problem. I don't see why you can't. It's totally doable. And within I went to Vegas, and Kenya was kind enough to invite me up on stage and kind of share my testimony. At that point, I hadn't quite made it, but I would say probably within 5 months, I actually matched what I was making full time at the shoe store, having been there like 28 years. And then past that, my very first month on pro, 1995. If I had to give a suggestion to somebody, I would say just go at it wholeheartedly. I mean, have a reason why you're doing it. Just put the hard work in the first couple months, because that first couple months of hard work is going to pay off dividends months and months and months. You're going to be rewarded for all that hard work. My very first month, I made $600. I mean, I put 280 listings up. I was just a listing fool. I started in January. It was winter. I had snow days, and every spare minute, I had to sit down with the wife and kids and tell them, say, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what, this is, I'm doing this for our future, basically. And so they understood. Daddy's at the computer and he's listing, and they sat here beside me. I got my 11-year-old son, dying to do DSD. He's asking me all the time, when can I start? When can I start? And from there, I made money in my pro. I moved up to Elite, then I moved up to Unleashed, I moved up to Monopoly. Every time I made enough money to move up to the next step, I just went ahead and did it. I moved up to Market Extreme, moved up to Genesis. Anytime something came up, because DSD and the people have proved themselves to me that yes, you can be successful doing it. Just follow the directions. You don't have to second guess things. You don't have to put your own spin on it. If you can watch a video and you can go do that exactly, there's no reason why you can't succeed. And like Alessandro was saying, that really the only limit to how much money you can make is the limit you put on yourself, the limit of the amount of time you want to put into it, the limit of the amount of work you want to put into it. I mean, that's the only thing that holds people back from going further is just themselves. So, just get in, go wholeheartedly at it, and you can surely make money. And everybody on this call here, as far as I know, is not being paid a cent by DSD or the Dream Team. I mean, we're all here volunteering. Chances are, you may have one or two people that that are on this call, but chances are the majority of people that are watching this are going to be people that we don't even know. We don't have any reward for coming out here and sharing DSD with you, other than that we have done it and we want to share that with you. So if there's anything else, yeah, I can't say enough. I mean, I could just keep going on about DSD. They got new things coming out, and they can't come out with new things fast enough for me to get.
That's right. So David, tell us, just from a perspective of, you said you made $600 your first month. You don't have to be exact or whatever, but give us a ballpark of what you're doing probably, or maybe at your prime, what were you doing per month with Monopoly. Now you're doing Monopoly, which is a little bit different than just the pro level.
Yeah, I moved up from pro doing 600. I moved up to Elite, and I did about 1,300. The next couple months I did about 1,600. Moved up to about 5,000-ish.
Wow.
After I had my at Vegas, I was having my best month ever, and then the very next month after that, I just, Kenya contacted me, and I told her what I was doing, and it blew her mind. She made a big post up. I mean, I didn't want to put it out on Facebook because people won't believe it. People think you're lying when they say you're doing well. But I had a month where I made $8,700, And if you could do that every month, then why in the world would you do anything else? I have friends that have gone into business, a physical store. They have to pay $350,000 up front, and I'm saying to myself, they're making less than I'm making. They've got all this huge amount of overhead. They got to go to work all the time. They're stuck at their store. There's This thing that Roger and Hitesh and Kevin has put together, man, it's literally a gold mine. I mean, if you put in the work, you'll get paid.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you talk about overhead and stuff. I mean, even at the shoe store that you're at, I mean, just think of what they have. They have rents. They got inventory. They got your salary. They got a couple other employees' salaries, and so they got to make money every day. They don't make money, then they're suffering. But see, the nice thing about what you got is with DS Domination is there is no inventory.
No.
You don't have a garage full of
No.
widgets and stuff like that. I mean, your house looks pretty clean. I don't see boxes all over the place.
Not yet. It's at other houses.
That's other houses. There you go.
We're starting to do Genesis, and so we just started getting our first shipment in. I have a partner that's on my team, and so we got a couple 1,000 pounds worth of stuff at his house.
Awesome, awesome. Now, since we're talking about that, why don't you just explain to people real quick, what is Genesis, what's Monopoly, I mean, what's the difference between Pro and Elite, or what you were talking about earlier?
Well, Pro you start in at $19.95. It's basically eBay, Amazon, back and forth, real simple. I mean, you move up, you make $3 to $5 to $10 a sale. That gets you acclimated to the whole system. I mean, that's the foundation of everything that we do is Pro. I mean, if you can kill it on Pro, you're good to go for the rest of them. But then you move up to Elite. You have different suppliers. Your profits become higher. No longer are you happy with $10 a sale. Now you get hungry. You want $50. You want $100. And the same way you move up to Unleashed, you learn about different cash backs. You learn about new suppliers. And from there, you have Monopoly, which is where I have a huge amount of success at, which is kind of doing what you do on eBay, which you normally do with DSD, but it flips it on its head, and you start doing that on Amazon. And Roger teaches you how to do that quite successfully because Amazon has a huge market. You can sell something 5 times a day on eBay. Well, you can probably sell it 10, 15 times on Amazon. It's just the traffic on Amazon is tremendous. Moving on up to Genesis, it's where you actually own physical product and you ship that on into Amazon, and Amazon takes care of all that for you. They have all the customer service. They just do it all for you, and that's what I'm getting into now. And I see people on the Dream Team having great success with it, and that's where I'm hoping to go. And with my success on Monopoly, that gives me the funds to kind of get into Genesis a little easier because I don't have to go and buy stuff. It's all money that I've made things with. Amazon has a huge market.
All right. Well, David, thank you so much. I was going to get back to you here.
Probably sell it,
Andrew, can you mute your Andrew? There you go. All right. So my next panelist is Chuck Arthurs. I had the pleasure of meeting Chuck also in Las Vegas for the first time, and Chuck's in Canada. And so, Chuck, tell us. This is a guy that I tell you what, if you tell him to do something, he does it to a T. He does it with excellence. And that's what I love about Chuck. And Chuck, tell us a little bit about your story. Now, you're in Canada, so this is just proof that what you're going to tell us works in Canada and works in other countries, all right? So take it away, Chuck.
Yeah, sure. Well, hey, I'm just fortunate to be under you guys and part of the Dream Team. In fact, if I was to be anywhere in this business, this is exactly where I'd want to be. We're located about an hour south of Ottawa, just so some people have some idea where we are, and we're right on the border. Bridge to New York is 1,000 feet away, so everything's pretty close there. We got started last year, and basically it was a learning process. We've been in other things before, but none of them really prepared me for this. And when I say that, that's probably good. In that I was able to learn what I learned in this from scratch, and it was great. The learning process with this is really pretty incredible because everything is in module format, and it's just a matter of watching the one module in one window or one tab on your screen, and then actually doing the other pasting the information into the other. So it's very, very simple that way. And I think that's one of the things I love about it. Not that I need something simple, but it makes it easy. And if it makes it easy for me, it's going to make it easy for any of the new people that are looking at it tonight, because everything is just totally modularized, which is great. Now, we are looking forward to getting our first Genesis listing up. We have the program right now, but we haven't actually listed anything with Genesis yet. And I'm looking very forward to doing that. We've been doing some international shipping through the global shipping program, and there's a story I can tell you about that that's sort of cool. We sold a resin hollow core statue, and it was shipped to Australia. And I didn't know that's where it was going, but the cool thing, all I have to do is in the program ship it to Kentucky, and they ship it from there to wherever it's going in the world. But that was a $649 item. It had I think about a $250 markup on it, and I got a notification that when it arrived in Australia, it was actually in pieces. You know, it had arrived at the Kentucky fine, but somewhere on the international transport, something had happened to it, and I had a little bit of a panic there because I got a computer-generated email, and that was from eBay, but it was just an automatic one saying that the item had arrived damaged, and it gave me some solutions. But unfortunately, the solutions involved money out of my pocket, which I didn't really want to do. But so I called eBay, and they were tremendous. They said, well, hey, what you shipped was part of the global shipping program, so you're covered. Okay, so that was really great. The seller, or I should say the buyer in Australia, they got all their money back, which was great, and I got to keep my profit on the sale. Not 1 cent came out of my pocket on that. So I was really happy because, as I say, that was something that had a large markup on it and a large profit. And I didn't want to see that flying out the window, but because of the type of company that eBay is, they protected me on that, just as they'll protect anybody else that's using the global shipping program. And I think that's really cool. I know we are looking at re-intensifying everything that we're doing with this and making a huge run on both the affiliate side and the eBay side over the next couple of months, and I'm very excited about that. In fact, you could probably say right now that I haven't been this excited about the whole program. Well, that's not really true. I mean, I've always been excited about it, but I'm just more excited right now. You know, it's so cool, and the thing is, anybody can do it, and that's the big thing. Is if any of you are looking at this program for the first time tonight, I really back with your the person that introduced you to it and say, well, how soon can I get started, and why didn't you tell me about this before? You know, because it is so cool. And hey, Alessandra, I got to thank you and Kenya for letting me get in underneath you guys. That's so cool. I'm so happy to be there. So that's what I want to say.
That's awesome. You know what, Chuck? You really said something really cool that I thought was very interesting. Is that you're dealing with multi-billion-dollar companies that really pride themselves on their reputation. So companies like eBay and Amazon, where they will totally back you up on issues that you come across. And so, the videos are constantly being updated, and stuff is constantly changing, and policies are changing and whatnot. It's so great that you can actually put your name and your brand behind a company like eBay or Amazon, because when most people think about, hey, I'm going to go sell something online, most people think, oh, I'm going to go to eBay, because they all think eBay is this online auction stuff, or I'm going to buy a book, or I'm going to buy something on Amazon. They don't think that's the first thing they think about. No one. It's not like we're working for some small no-name company. I mean, these are multi-billion-dollar companies that literally pride themselves on their reputation. So it really makes it easier for us in DS Domination to utilize it.
So much so. That's totally true.
Yeah, awesome, Chuck. Well, Chuck, we're going to come back to you in a little bit. We're going to head over to our next panelist, Charles Browning. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Awesome. Charles, tell us a little bit about where you came from, where you live. Tell us how you got started, and tell us where you're at now.
Well, about 45 years ago, I started my own business. I was my own boss.
Yeah.
But the inventory, the employees, the overhead, the taxes, just sort of made it tough. And I always thought there was a better way. And I got started with eBay back in 2002, selling some high-priced items. So I got hooked on eBay then. And I moved down here to North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. And I was working for the airport. And I used to think, boy, if I could just have a penny out of every gallon of fuel they put into all those jets, I would be rich. And so one night I was cruising around the internet and clicked on this video, and it was a DSD video. It was just, to me at the time, another video, another shiny object on the internet. But I watched it, and I said, now wait a minute. This guy is talking about working for yourself, no inventory, no overhead, no shipping, no out-of-pocket expenses. This is just unreal. It can't be true. So I watched the video again. And I immediately, after watching the video a second time, signed up to Pro. And I clicked a button and automatically signed up to Elite at the same time. But I was going through a rough time in my life at that time. That was right at the end of November in 2013. And so when I signed up, I just sort of sat on it. And then in March of 2014, I started listing items. And I was thrilled. I got just hooked on it then, because it was just like you list an item and it sells and you just relist it. It was so easy. And then when they said, we're going to have a big meeting in Las Vegas, I said, I am on my way. So I was so happy I went to Las Vegas. And the first thing that got my attention is that this business, DSD, it was just so different from everything else that I'd run across on the internet. There was no gotchas, there was no upsells, there was no, I mean, everything else was like a scam. But this was the first one that I ran across. Roger is putting up videos to teach you how to make money on the internet, and that's exactly what he did. And for $19.95, you can't beat it. And it's so simple. It was just copy and paste, and that's what I started doing. I started selling it. You know, people would ask me, well, what do you sell? Well, computer vacuum cleaners, park benches, three-way makeup mirrors, you name it, I sell it. Whatever's on Amazon, I just move it over to eBay and sell it. I have no inventory, no money invested. Perfect business. And so it was just like when I used to think about making a penny on every gallon of gas pumped into those airplanes. Here now I've got an opportunity of a multi-million-dollar business going on, making money off everything they sell. All I've got to do is just copy and paste it over to eBay. Just beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so when you talked about you had your own business back in the day, would you compare the stress level of running your own business to what you're doing right now, or how would you compare that?
I don't want to insult you, Alessandro, but that's a crazy question. There is no stress level in this business. That's a great thing. I get up in the morning, get my cup of coffee, turn my computer on, start checking my emails. No, I tell you what I've learned to do. I go to PayPal first. I go to PayPal first to see the difference in the figures there. But the fact is, I don't have to drive the interstate 30 miles into Charlotte to the airport. I don't have to deal with the problems at the airport, because that was a people-driven business, and it's get it done right now. And I don't have an insane boss anymore. Mm-hmm. So yes, there was tremendous stress at the airport, but in this business, I think the only stress I have is there is so much to sell, I can't get it all on at one time.
That's true. And for those of you that are watching, I mean, literally, you can sell whatever you want. Well, there are some exceptions. You can't sell certain things, but you know, and those are all outlined in the video. But literally, I mean, I remember selling alarm clocks. That was my first sale. I sold a $6 alarm clock I sold for $19. And I mean, I think I sold that thing like 50 times. And it was like, man, after shipping and after everything's all said and done, I was making like $8 profit on something that, you know, it's like, my goodness, this is too easy. It's like, how does this happen? And what it is, what most people, it's just a numbers game, and you're hearing a lot of stories of a lot of people putting up listings, and David put up 200 listings or 100 and something listings, and Chuck has a bunch of listings up. It's just a numbers game. Not everything will sell, but if you put your numbers out there, it's bound to happen. You're gonna find several items that are just gonna sell and sell and sell all day long. And even David mentioned at one point when he was so busy, I mean, he was up till all hours of the night just trying to process his orders. Because he's like, I got to process these orders. But it wasn't something like, oh my goodness, I got to go do eBay. It was an excitement because there was money coming in. And I'm sure, Charles, that's all the same thing that you felt too, as you started making your deals and seeing that this is literally what you talked about earlier at the gas pump, about pumping the fuel in there, that it's automatic. You don't have to take the inventory box out of your garage and wrap it up and take it to the shipping store or take it to the post office. It's all automated. It's all automated. I mean, the only thing I could think probably you might get tired is your finger might get tired from pointing and clicking and maybe having to drag the mouse over to half a centimeter or whatever to get over to the next screen. But other than that, the sky is literally the limit with this. Charles, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I was just going to say that's another thing that attracted me, because in everything else that I have gotten into, you had to recruit. And that was like a brick wall for most people, and it was for me too. But when I found out I didn't have to recruit in this, I mean, it was just almost immediate for me. But now, as I'm doing it, and people ask me what I'm doing, I tell them just taking stuff off Amazon, selling it on eBay, and pocketing the profit. And now I've got my neighbors asking me to sell stuff on eBay, and the recruits that I have, they've signed up because they've heard what I was doing, and they felt that they could do it too. It was so simple, and that's all I said. Just watch the videos, and that's all you need to do, because all your instruction is right there. And it's just a super business. There couldn't be a better business. And right now, Amazon is the biggest online business, and the opportunity is out there for anybody who wants to get up off the couch and do something with their life to join and just make some money.
Yep, that's for sure. That is for sure. Well, Charles, thank you so much for we'll come back to you here in a little bit. Our next panelist is not shy of these Hangouts. He's been on here quite a bit. He's even hosted them a couple times. Andrew Gerbers, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me, Alessandro?
We got you loud and clear. Andrew, tell us a little bit, tell us your story, where you come from, and get started.
I come from Indianapolis. I did the home-based business industry before this, but a lot of it, like some people on the panel said, there's a lot of recruiting. And that's fine. I don't mind the recruiting a lot, but with my job, I travel all over the country. So it's kind of, so I was away from my team a lot, and I couldn't help them, and it just stressed me out. So I was actually at an airport and got an email for this opportunity, and I was just like, eBay, Amazon, that sounds fun, let's do it. So I was like, $20, I spent way more on stuff I had no clue what I was doing. So I did the $20 and made 4 sales the first weekend. I was hooked. I've been hooked over a year now. And there are little problems, like tonight I like to travel a lot, so some of our teachings we have in DS is I use a rewards points credit card to process my orders. So I like to get miles because I like to fly everywhere, and I like to get a lot of rewards miles. So I was processing eBay orders with, I'm not really using it, but they called me tonight because they thought fraudulent charges were happening because I kept buying from all different stores from all our training. So I had to talk with them and tell them that it wasn't fraudulent charges. It was me buying all this random stuff from all over the country. So I'm kind of glad they called me, but that's the small little problems that are kind of funny you get. They call it like, did you buy this baby carriage from this site? I'm like, yeah. So I was just dealing with that tonight before I got on. But I just been loving it, and and just being on the dream team. The dream team is, as a lot of you guys know, and people that are new, it was founded by Alessandro, Kenya, and Trent Weidman, and they're there to help us, whether they want to help us to become better leaders, whether they just want to help us in business. That's what they're there for, and I've just kind of joined with them, and I'm just like, wow, we are a team, and it's great to help out on these hangouts, because it's something we all believe in on the panel. And I just, like people said on here, we don't get paid to do this. We're just here. I'm not trying to recruit. It was a little last minute, so I have no one out here that I'm trying to recruit right now. I'm just here saying I love it, and there's just so many different ways to make money if you want to. And I like to just start with the eBay, get your listings up, and just keep. I saw some questions on the chat. People were not making the sales they want. You just keep listing and keep following the training that Roger does. You'll find stuff, and then it'll just keep selling and selling. The more it sells, eBay will keep ranking it, and it's just never-ending orders, and you'll be hooked like I am.
Andrew, that's interesting you say that, because I remember the story when my wife and I got started. I have my own eBay account. She has her own eBay account, and she actually got started before me by a couple weeks, and she went through the first, I think, week or 2 weeks and didn't have any sales. And she started questioning. It's like, oh, I don't know if this really works, and this and that. And for some people, it's just the way it is. And then I got started and made my first sale within 5 days. Now we got stories of people making the first sale within the first 24 hours, which is crazy. But then we're still getting people that still say, hey, it's been 2 weeks since I made a sale and whatever. But I just want to let those that it happens. It just all happens, and it will happen like a whirlwind. All of a sudden, you'll just start selling stuff. And I think after 2 weeks or so, Kenya started selling stuff just left and right. Now she's selling something. She's selling this item that she's like, oh great, I sold another one. And she's making like $6 or $8 profit on it, and she's like, oh great, And it's just what happens. I mean, there's no really answer to it. I mean, the videos talk about titling. It talks about how to rank and stuff like that. So I think if going back to the videos and just going step by step. I know I had my laptop here on one side and I had my desktop, and I was playing Roger's videos, and as he said something, I hit the pause button, and then I went to the desktop and I did it, and then I pressed play and I listened to it, and he said, okay, and I that's how I learned, just step by step. And so I think that's encouraging in itself, just to know that you have that resource at your fingertips. So now where are you at with you're a pro, elites, or what products do you have?
Oh, I own all of them. Usually whatever product comes out, I just buy it. I don't even have to, I trust the owners that much that they're they're not going to release something unless it's ready to go. And some people, like when I talk to, they're like, does eBay know that you're doing this? I'm just like, yeah, I call them on the phone, they give me tips, and we actually have a thing called listings integrations where DS has teamed up with eBay, and they're helping us be able to track our shipments and do all this stuff for tax purposes, because that's one little stress that you'll start having. You'll actually be making money in this company, so you'll have to pay some taxes in that later on if you make enough. So that's the problem that we want, and DS is helping us with that on how to do the taxes, and plus the dream team does too. We're always trying to cover our butts, and there's always something new to learn. The more your business grows, the more you're gonna have to learn. And I know we've already had some hangouts on just tax purposes, so we do that type of stuff. If you join our team, you'll be doing just on how to title or whatever, on how to do the secret sauce stuff. We just do all types of training like that, all for just your regular membership that's totally separate from DS Domination. You get that joining Alessandro and Kenya's team.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Andrew. We'll come back to you. Hey, Charles, can I get back to you and just ask you a couple questions? Wanted to, can you hear me? There you are.
Yes.
Wanted to ask you, now Andrew touched on this just a little bit, but there's some software in the back office. So for the 1995, it's not just the training modules. What piece of software have you used that you thought just absolutely have to have? You know, whether it be the photo cropper or the is it the title builder, or you know, what's helped you?
All of them. I use the photo cropper. I think that's a great tool. I use integration to help me keep up with the prices. I use the they're all there. I'm into all of them. I've got them all.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, thanks, Charles. I'm going to get over here to Chuck real quick. Chuck, you in? Oh, got you muted here. Let me.
There, I'm out.
There you go. Chuck, what do you find to be most effective? What type of software? Because you know that you don't just get just the training modules, but you get some software as well with the stuff.
Yeah, I've been using them all. The photo cropper, though, I find I couldn't put a price on that. It just makes such a difference. And the title builder helps as well. Like they're both really good tools. Actually, everything that they put in there has a lot of value on it, and it's really cool because you've got your membership and the tools come with it. You're not paying extra for the tools. So I mean, that's really cool. You know, just what you need to use, it's there.
Awesome, awesome. David, what can you add to that? How have the tools, how's the software in the back office helped you?
I'll tell you that the tools, you know, there's a reason why people that go to Elite, Unleashed, Monopoly, Genesis, there's a reason why they still keep Pro. And the reason why they still keep Pro is one, because if you're going to sell on eBay, you better have some kind of title builder, and it's just kind of enough for DSD to give one to you. You better have, as far as I know, the only image scrambler, whatever, I don't even know what kind of magic stuff it does, to keep you, you know, from getting in trouble on eBay. You make that picture your own. You can put your own thing on there. You know, you got to have that. You know, just because you decide to move up, you see, I bet you, I don't know the percentages, but I'm sure that the percentages of people that keep Pro are in the high percentages, just because, you know, they've done well in Pro and they've moved up, but they still see the value of the Pro tools. And just to go back and touch a little bit what everybody's been saying on recruiting, you know, I had never joined anything before in my life, all my however many years I've lived, until DSD, and that was one of the things that sold me. I don't have to recruit anybody. I could just sit at the computer at home by myself, just list stuff. I didn't have to tell anybody about it. I didn't have to go to church and bug people. I didn't have to go to work and bug people. I didn't have to go to friends and twist their arm to join my $800 opportunity. I just minded my own business and sold stuff. And before you know it, you know, people want to know what you're doing. You know, I put it on Facebook. Oh, wow, I can't believe it. I made $5 today selling a funnel. They're like, what? You sold a funnel? Made $5. You're like, yeah, you won't believe it. And I, you know, I haven't done. I'm no, you know, media mogul, you know, SEO expert or any of that. All I do is just tell people what I do on Facebook, basically. Even in person, I'm kind of backwards and shy. I don't want to get all into it, but I'll boast on DSD on Facebook and whatever group that I'm in. And basically, you know, by doing that, becoming an affiliate, it's just like it's a smooth transition, and you can make a good amount of money selling nothing on eBay, just telling people how much success you have had on it. And so yeah, the tools are invaluable. It's like if you were going to start a software business, and Bill Gates told you, you know, for $20 a month, I'll tell you exactly how to do it. And you say, well, no, I don't know, I really can't pay Bill Gates $20 a month to teach me how to start a software business. Well, you'd be crazy not to. That's exactly what Roger does. He gives you the training step by stinking step. He gives you all the tools that you need. All you got to do is just do exactly what he says, and you'll get your money back and plus.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome. Great, David. Thank you so much for sharing that. Janet, back to you. Janet's. I like to bring Janet back in because she's just been in DSD for about 3 weeks, and she's already made some sales. And so tell us what's your experience so far as the software that's back there, or just the training in itself? Give me 1 or 2 words, or whatever you can, just a little brief talk about, for those people out there that are thinking about joining, what would you have to say for them?
First of all, very easy. It really is, and that's kind of what Freddie said. He said, it's really simple, and so far he hasn't lied about it. I have I use all of those, the Cropper, the title builder, all that I have it set up, and I kind of have a little system that I go by, and it's really easy. And I've never done anything like this before, so I would always watch, like I said earlier, I'd see Freddie post stuff, and I believe them, but it's kind of like what I've been hearing. It's like, well, should I do it? Yes, definitely. It is really easy, and I wish I would have started this when I first started watching Freddie post stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you. Well, basically, for everyone watching out there, these panelists, these are real people. Like I said, I didn't coerce anybody. I didn't twist anybody's arm to come out here and tell me some happy story, some pie in the sky, so that we can get more people to sign up for DS Domination. That's not it at all. In fact, I'm not even going to sell you that pie in the sky story either, because what I'm showing you is legit, and it does take work. I mean, everyone on this panel will tell you, yes, you will come into a point where you're putting listings up, and yes, there will be work that you have to do, and at times, there may be some level of discouragement, like, oh, I haven't sold my item. I said, well, how long have you had your items up for? Oh, well, I've had them up for 24 hours. It's like, oh my goodness, take it easy, just keep listing, keep listing. So just to kind of recap, DS Domination, we have the pro level. There's several levels. Everything starts out at the pro level, okay? And the pro level is $19.95 per month, and that gives you 16 training modules that teach you step by step on how to take items, just everyday items, from other third-party websites, and how to copy and paste them onto your eBay account, okay? And you start selling those items. Then eventually you can move up to the elite level, which is $99 a month, and that actually introduces you to other third-party websites, okay, other than just the one you're using for eBay. And then from there you get into Unleashed, where it talks about how to take advantage of rebates and cashback rewards and stuff like that. And then we get into there's Market Extreme, and then we start shifting gears. And there's one product called Monopoly. And Monopoly is where, like what Dave Munn was saying, it kind of flips eBay upside down, and now you're not using eBay as your selling platform. Now you're using Amazon as your selling platform. And what most people don't know is that Amazon is actually larger than eBay. Actually, Amazon is larger than Walmart, but most people didn't even realize that. So you think of all these online retailers, these big moguls, Amazon is the largest. All right, and so Monopoly will show you how to do that, and then from the next step up from there, then you are actually starting your own business. Well, you're actually starting your own business already, but now you're actually to a point where you become a supplier on Amazon using DS Domination Genesis. And so the videos all talk about that, but for those of you that are just thinking about doing this, you start out at the pro level, you get your feet wet, you learn the basics, and you just incrementally. This isn't a race. This isn't like, oh, hurry up and get to the top. No, it's you work at your own pace, and you do this yourself. And there's just a team there to encourage you, to help you along the way. My wife and I, we are now at that DS Domination. We're at the Genesis level, where we have a product that is sitting at the shelves of Amazon. Okay, they're sitting in the Amazon warehouse, and we sell our item. We found an item that was liquidated, and so we purchased everything out, so we have no competition on this product. There's other brands, but there's not the same exact item. And we sell anywhere from 4 of these items a day to as many as 8 a day, with a $10 to $15 profit margin. So we have over 700 sitting at the Amazon warehouse. So just looking at that, everything's automated. I don't have to answer the phone. I don't have to place an order. Amazon does that all for us. And that's the Genesis level of this. But like I said, everything starts at the pro level. So I just want to ask our panelists, do you guys have any other advice, anything else for this group of people? anything. Feel free to talk and unmute yourself.
Yeah, Alessandro, I just have one comment. The thing that people really need to realize about this is that both eBay and Amazon are online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, working for you. The perfect example was I went to Canada's Wonderland with my wife and three of our 4 daughters a month or 2 ago, and really, while we were there, we had 4 sales while I was being scared out of my life on a roller coaster. So what I'm trying to say is, you take time off for your family, you take time off for a vacation or whatever else, and the sales are going to keep coming, and that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is exciting, and it gets to a point where after you learn, and it is a skill set. It is a skill set that you learn. Your eyes and your brain start to get used to seeing items on eBay that look like good deals or deals on Amazon, and it starts to get easier after a while. For those of you that just starting out, you're thinking, oh my goodness, I watched all the videos and I can't find anything to sell. You just got to work through it. I mean, literally, I remember starting out, I spent 4 hours trying to get up like 3 or 4 listings. I mean, I'm sitting there trying to analyze everything and try to see how to make this thing work. And finally, Roger's like, dude, you're overthinking it. I was like, you just need to list the items. I was like, as long as you're making your $3 to $5 profit margin, it doesn't matter what you're selling. You know, you could be selling vitamins, or you can be selling socks, or whatever the case may be. Most people try to analyze things to a point where they think, well, if I was going to buy something online, what would I buy? And then you think everyone else will buy that same thing. Well, that's not the case. You just need to look for the deals, look for the items. If you're making a profit, sometimes, if you make a $3 profit, I had a bunch of listings up where only $3 profit. Then all of a sudden you start to do a little bit more of the training. You start to, your eyes and your brain kind of get used to spotting things, and then after a while you start finding the $10 profit items and the $20 profit items. And then next thing you know, you're selling swing sets and making $150 profit items. So, that's just kind of where it all starts. And so I highly encourage everyone that's doing it currently to not be discouraged, because it does get easier. Just stick with it. And for those of you that are thinking about doing it, you need to jump on the boat, because I tell you what, you've heard it. There's people making anywhere from a couple $100s a month to $8,700 a month, and sitting at the convenience of their own home, with their family or their kids or their loved ones. And so I think DS Domination has definitely given us that opportunity. And I want to ask anyone else, you guys got anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I just want to say, DSD, the big difference is don't sit dead on the couch anymore. Get up and do something doable, and DSD is very doable.
There you go. There you go. I couldn't say it better myself. All righty. Well, anybody else there? Panels?
I was just going to say that, it's not, no one here is trying to sell you a pie-in-the-sky dream like Alessandro said. It's not hard work that we do, but, it is work that has to be done. It is work, and it does take time. You just don't write, a $1995 check and all of a sudden you get money coming in from eBay, for doing nothing. There is work that has to be done. But what I like about DSD is that it basically almost any excuse that you might have, you might say, well, I don't have any money, I can't afford it. It's $19.95. You got $19.95. You got it. No matter how hard off you've got $19. And you might say, well, I don't have the time. You do have the time. I've had I work a full-time job. I'm a manager of a shoe store. I work more than a full-time job. I have a wife. I have 5 children. That's another whole full-time job for my wife, a little bit for me. I'm heavily involved in our church. We have, all these different services, Sunday school teachers, hyphen group meetings. There's time. I mean, you make time for what you think is important. You make time for your church. You make time for your job. You just make time for what you think is important. And if changing your life, getting out of your job, being financially free, being even more than financially free, actually being time free, where you have time to do what you want to do, is important, then you'll spend the $19.95. You'll make the time. You know, there's really no reason you can't do it unless you just simply don't want to do it. If you don't want to change your life, you know, then don't do it. But if you do want to change your life, if you want to have, you know, a different outcome than what you've had so far, no matter how good your life is already. I mean, I had a perfect, fine life in January before I started. You know, I was making good money at the shoe store, you know, just coming home, chilling out, not doing much, you know, enjoying the family. You know, but I saw this, and all of a sudden it kind of fired some dreams in your head. You know, you wanted to make more of yourself. You know, you wanted to give back. You wanted to give more. You know, you wanted to be a blessing to other people. Well, you just got to sit down and you just got to do it. So whatever excuses you have, if you want to change your life, just throw the excuse out the door, make time, spend the $20, change your life.
There you go. There you go. That reminds me of the quote, you don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. So, awesome. All right, anybody else out there? Any other panelists? Everyone's good? All right, well, we're coming up at about an hour, so I definitely want to respect everyone's time out there. I want to keep it to about an hour here. First of all, I want to thank our panelists. You guys are all-stars. You guys have truly just have been a true blessing to the Dream Team in every aspect. You know, you guys are leaders, and we truly appreciate everything that you guys do. You know, we are a family at Dream Team that we're always looking out for everyone else. And so for those of you that have watched this for the first time and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I need to get started, you need to get with the person that invited you to this Hangout. The person that actually told you, hey, you need to get on this Hangout and look at it, and you need to give them a call or get their link and sign up. Like I said, $19.95 will get you started. And for everybody else, all you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night and a blessed rest of the week. We appreciate you, and we'll see you guys at the next Hangout. Thank you very much.